come from a school of thought that the last thing a trustee board probably needs is another pensions expert. So as we move into a new era of pension funds, I think we've got to look at other skills. So as far as I'm concerned, not being from the pensions industry, I think the most important skills I have are the diplomatic skills, the negotiating skills, but also from the rest of the board, I need people who will challenge orthodoxy. I need people who will scrutinise the advice that they're given and not be afraid to challenge perceptions. We're in this game for the long haul, and it's very important that we look at medium and long-term goals as well as just short-term fixes. That's a really good question, and one that we're all struggling with. I think very often in multi-employer schemes, which is the ones I tend to be involved in, you've usually got two sides of industry involved, and it's very difficult to dictate to either of those sides of industry what those skills should be. So we need to come up with a matrix that allows that to happen. That's something that we're struggling with at the moment and we're dealing with, because we don't just want to go to block nominations. So part of that is understanding what the role and function of the board is going to be for the next 5 to 10 years, then determine what skills you need, then do a skills audit, the skills that you've actually got, and see where the gaps are, and then negotiate between the two parties. What's important thing is that everybody understands that when you're a trustee, you're a trustee. You're not representing a company, you're not representing a union or a workforce. You're there as a trustee. So in fact, the organising body that puts you there becomes irrelevant once you're there. And we've got to begin to understand how we can make that happen better to make sure that we get the skills that we need without falling into the old orthodoxy of having sides, which some boards, I'm afraid, still have. I see myself very much as a conductor. I've got a very talented orchestra, and that brings me to the concept of what the team is. To me, the team isn't just the trustee board. The team is and includes, if the fund employs people, them, and the advisors. So that chemistry between those three groups is very important. That's what makes the team. You know, to look at the sporting analogy, the team on the pitch or the court, or the player on the court, isn't the only person who's involved in winning. There's a whole phalanx of people behind them. Advice is given and it's implemented accordingly. So coming back to the conductor analogy, I conduct those people to make sure that they all work in concert together. And of course, if I don't have talented people to work with, if a conductor doesn't have talented musicians, he or she is just a person waving a piece of stick. So, you know, it's very important that the chair understands his or her own vulnerability, but also understand that they've got a very important leadership role to play. Well, the trustee board is in charge. The trustee board makes all the decisions, but as chair, you direct and lead and scrutinise. It's that first among equals concept. The board agrees that I will be the chair to help direct them, but I still only have one vote, so I've got to keep my feet firmly on the ground. The important thing is it's the collective that's important, and that collective leads to the phrase that I call the alchemy of governance. Something happens when you get it right to ensure that the governance is correct, and the governance to me is a fundamental part on the way that pension funds have got to operate over the next 50 years. Innovation and education, I think, is important. I think trustee boards need to innovate a little bit. I like to say to my advisors, take my breath away with the audacity of your ideas of what we should be considering. But at the same time, we need to educate the members of the funds better. And that education doesn't start a year or two before retirement. I don't think it starts when you start work. I think it's got to start in schools as part of the whole financial literacy agenda that we've got. So 10 and 11-year-olds need to understand why saving and pensions are important. Now, this is an intergenerational thing, but something that will take generations to come to fruition. Unfortunately, in any Western democracy, we tend to work on, at best, 5-year cycles. So there's very little opportunity for government to do long-term planning. But this is what we need. We need a plan for 25, 30 years to start educating our young people on the importance of saving and pensions. Whether pensions is what they're called in the future is another issue, but that whole concept of saving is something that I think everybody agrees with, but we're just not able to get it implemented to make it work.